Good morning, true crime lovelies. Sugar Bear is watching a show in the background. If that's going to bother you, I'll catch you next time. Just really quick. Lori yesterday, oh God, interesting. Number one, her trial with Brandon Boudreaux is going to start on that. Oh, that's on the camera on the 2nd of June. And so Donna Adelson's jury selection starts on the 2nd. So I'll cover as much as I can. I believe Lori's jury selection is starting like May 30th, but it's around the Labor Day weekend. So we'll see how it goes. Yesterday, oh my God. So apparently they showed a lot of graphic photos of Charles's deceased body. You had the medical examiner there. For some reason, Lori wanted to argue again about the bamboo shirt. And I think Ms. Trina K came back with a good redirect. She asked if the shirt were causing this shoring, wouldn't it have done it with both bullets? And the medical examiner said yes. So that pretty much shut that like all the way down. I mean, it's silly to think that the shirt was causing a shoring. They told her repeatedly it has to be like compression garments or a bra, compression like Spanx or us ladies know, and a bra or a belt, right? Something that's restricting the movement. That bamboo shirt was not restricting any movement, Lori. Sit down. As I've said a million times, I did not follow her Idaho trial. I didn't know she got in trouble for Social Security fraud. I mean, it makes sense, but now the jury knows as well. It wasn't explicitly stated by the prosecution, the state, but Lori kept going on and on about, are you sure your people gave me the right form? And then she asked for the dude's supervisor, the manager. What did his superior is what she said. And I was watching on Trial TV Live and we were all like, she's asking him for the manager. Which is silly and petty. I'm sure it came across petty to the jury, because what were you going to go back to your jail cell and call the manager, the superior, collect to verify he was saying the right thing? Like, clearly he's able to testify to the facts. That's why he's here, and not to the foolishness and chicanery that Miss Lori was bringing. She was like, did they give me the wrong form, or did I fill it out, or shouldn't I get survivor benefits? And he said there's a certain age requirement for survivor benefits. There's particular, it depends on the set of circumstances. And she was trying to dig into like what the circumstances were. Who cares, ma'am? You were already found fraudulent. I don't think the jury would have asked that if she hadn't have like hammered that guy. And I think maybe they felt a little bad for him. It was embarrassing. I was embarrassed. I had secondhand embarrassment for her for the question she was asking. You committed fraud. Move on. Who else was on the stand? So, the detective that interrogated her. I probably will do a breakout on that. Why didn't the detective ever ask her, did you give Charles his phone back? Because that would have saved a lot of rigmarole. And also, I don't know why that didn't trigger like she was the aggressor. Maybe that will come out. But Lori had the phone. She left with the phone. But so make it make sense, right? So she's saying out of her own mouth that Alex stayed the night to protect her because Charles was coming over in the morning. Charles got there 7:35, 7:40. He was expected at 7:30. So why wouldn't Alex have already been up and dressed to make this smooth transition if there was no nefarious activity going on, right? To make this smooth transition. Oh my God, everybody's acting up over there. Okay, girls, of just picking up JJ, grabbing his backpack, and going back out to the car. Technically, they could have made it where Charles didn't even need to come into the house, right? Just have JJ ready and his stuff and go. But she wanted to play reindeer games. Liberty, come here. Come down off the bed. She wanted to play reindeer games with the phone because of this intervention, which she doesn't call it an intervention. She was like, I knew they were up to something in her interrogation, or her interview was a soft interview because she was viewed as a witness. And there was another part where the woman was like, the reason we took you as a witness is because I went over to give you the death notification and you were like, oh, I know, I was there. And then she gets all high pitched, and it's not peckish that I was thinking of. I think peckish is when you're hungry. Whatever. She's doing her little hint of like, how would I know that's what you were coming over for? Well, you're the one who said it, honey. So you tell us how you knew. with both the detective and with the Social Security fraud guy, she kept inserting herself in. And so they had to keep objecting because effectively she's testifying. She was like, well, what if they told me? And so they allowed her to reword it as a neutral, like, what if one were told, or what if someone were told this, would it be correct? Now she just lying on the Social Security people. She lying on the detective. Everybody's lying but her, who committed fraud and who had the phone and instigated this fight. So yeah, let me go back to that. So if you're holding his phone and that is what is making him angry, and you already had Alex there for protection, meaning you thought something might jump off, why did you not just give him the phone? So that is making her the aggressor. I think that is going to be the linchpin in her conspiracy. If she were not involved, she would have just given him the phone, or she would have kept everything neutral. Because if you think something is going to jump off to the point where your brother has brought his gun over in the house with 2 kids, meet him outside. Meet me outside. Meet me outside. I'll be outside ready with the baby. As soon as you just boop, 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 let me know you pulling up. Pull up, and I'll meet you out in the front. Because he parked in the driveway. So it's clearly a setup. Like I said, it's a circumstantial evidence case. Like, nobody has text messages where they're like, when he gets here, you wait in the room. Like, it's rarely are criminals that dumb. Yeah, but yesterday, day 5 sealed it for me. She's guilty. And I think the jury's questions they're picking up what the prosecution is putting down as far as like, she's shady. I don't know how they are still not asking about these kids. I mean, wow. And the more she talks about the kids, I think the more curious they're going to be, right? Because she was getting death benefits for herself and for JJ after she got married November 5th. Sir, can I talk to the people? Thank you. She should have reported that she got married because she was no longer eligible for the $1,900 that was for mother in care, meaning JJ is now Chad's responsibility, right? Your new husband's responsibility. And I think I did not realize that Tylee did not start getting money from Joe Ryan until 2018. So I think this was all a part of the master plan. Now, in opening, Lori attributed that money to Charles, in the sense that she said he contacted Social Security. She didn't know about it. If that is true, I think after that it was on and popping, right? She was not eligible for mother in care benefits because she had a husband, right? She had Charles. But so in her plotting, it seems clear to me, again, circumstantial evidence, that she knew she was going to get mother in care, and she knew that she would get money for JJ. And there's a text message to that effect from Lori to Chad of like, the life insurance was changed in February. I think it was February either 26 or 28. And so it was probably Ned before we got rid of him. I will still get $4,000. And that correlates to a search on the Social Security website that she conducted because she had not yet directly contacted Social Security. So Charles was killed July 11th. She applied in August for these benefits, and then they backdated them. November 5th, when she got married, she was no longer eligible. And what kicked it off, they did, because she did ask him, when did this investigation start? In January of 2020, when the children were officially missing and the whole world was watching. They were like, well, let's see. So then she was still collecting the benefits on the dead children. So that is also fraud. So that's what I'm wondering, if the jury will put that together, that it's just fraud because of the marriage, or also because she was collecting and keeping the money for the dead children. She kept going on and on about she had to spend it all every month. That was not true. The official there, whose superior she wanted clarified it could be saved for their college or for their future. And she was like, but they're going to audit you every month. Well, clearly if it's in a savings account and they audit you, it's all good. And she could have put it in a trust where she couldn't get it and the kids couldn't get it until they were 18 or 21, depending on how she set the trust up. So she's just lying. Lying. And I was watching Kathy this morning. She was like, Lori was probably going to get Chad next so she could get his money. And you know what? He would have deserved it. And he, like, how are you guys going to just lay down and sleep with each other every night, knowing all the dead bodies that you left in your wake within a 6-month period, all in the name of a dollar bill? Get a job. Like, anyway, that is my little rant. I got to get out of here, so I probably won't do my recap on the main in the parlor until a little bit later. But let me know what you think. She just had me angry yesterday. I was like yelling at the TV. Just a tragedy all the way around. Colby was there yesterday. Her son. Also, Kay Woodcock and her siblings were there, but in the afternoon, because like I said, they showed the autopsy photos in the morning. We don't get to see it because remember the judge has the order about no gruesome images, which I'm fine with that. I will continue to take Florida PI Sam's advice about be careful about looking at that stuff because you can never unsee it. And it's like as sensitive as I get over like text messages, I'm like, I'm so glad she told me that because I don't know what I was thinking. Sometimes it's like more like, can I see it? Can I? And I get caught up in that and not like just because I can doesn't mean I should. And definitely I don't want to see those. The people who reported on it said it was pretty gruesome. And I don't want to, I mean, I didn't know Charles, but I don't want to have that image of him. Like when I think of him, I want to think of him as intact and happy. And yeah, that's why we're here to get justice for the intact and happy Charles, and unfortunately part of that justice is going through that, but it doesn't mean I need to see it. So protect your mental health, your mental peace this week if it gets a little too much for you. It'll all be here, it's all recorded, like as far as what the status is, or just keep checking in and I'll tell you what's going on. But yeah, that's what I got going on today. I hope you guys are well. It's nice and sunny here today. I haven't been outside, but it looks nice. When I did peek out, oh no, it changed. Look at that. I don't know how that happened. The sun is nowhere. It went away. Maybe it'll come back out. Maybe but it feels like a fog has moved in, which is weird because we always get fog in California where I live, where I was raised in Fresno in the valley, San Joaquin Valley. But this, let me know. Who was it? Katy, Texas had 80 degrees. In Arizona, I understand it's quite warm and it's going to be very warm for that June trial for Brandon Boudreaux. So good luck to everybody who's going out there. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to cover Donna Adelson and I'll definitely check in on that because I want to see how she does. Like, has she figured out hearsay in her next trial? Maybe once. Oh, I almost forgot. The investigator. Her investigator. So the state finally sent over the raw data of Charles's phone dump, right? And remember, Lori was going on and on about that. Well, they got it, and now they can't open it. They're like, "Oh, the key doesn't." And so this investigator, remember, what did Florida PI Sam tell us? Most of today's work as an investigator is like data analysis. He's not good with the data. He was like, well, the program you gave us, we couldn't open it, the version of Cellbrite. And she's like, Trina K is like, I didn't give you that. And so he keeps repeating it. And she's like shaking her head to the judge, which I believe her because it's not a free program. Why would the prosecutor pay? Even if you have it, you have to have a license for it, right? Like at my job, I work at a corporate place. Everybody who has something on their computer, we pay for a license for them to have it. If I install it and they don't have a license, it'll ask you when you get, or if anybody, I'm not installing it, I'm not in IT, but you have to give like the ID for your license, right? The key. And so I don't think he's actually trying to open it. And whoever the actual data extraction analyst is, I can't remember his name. I don't know where he was coming in from, but he wasn't there at the close of court yesterday, which I think they ended at 4:30. And they're like, well, hopefully he'll be here. And so the judge was like, well, yeah, I need more information. Basically, Lori was looking for him to admonish the prosecution and like help them, like they're in some sort of IT services. And he was like, well, I need more information, which is like, why didn't you at least print out some screenshots so people can see what the error is? Like, that's why I feel like he's not good with data. Everybody knows if something is not working, take a screenshot of it. You need to be able to tell them something. You can't just call IT and be like, hey, my computer's not working. What are they going to ask you? What is it saying? What's happening? What, like, get the details. He's just like, well, when I went to the key, I got a gray screen. And did it say anything else? Did you try it? You know, anyway, I think it's going to end up he doesn't have the software. Hopefully the actual person who's going to be analyzing it has the software. We'll see. All right, let me get out of here. Let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what you think. Yesterday was interesting, and I'm glad it was, well, for us it was less emotional. I'm sure for the people in the room seeing the post-mortem photos was not less emotional, because apparently they had to show like the bullet path and everything else. But yeah, I'm not sure who's up today. State will rest on Thursday. Remember, they end the court week on a Thursday. So Lori should be up on Monday putting her case on. She blamed a bunch of stuff on her. I keep remembering things. Sorry. She blamed a bunch of stuff on her paralegal. Like they subpoenaed somebody for a date in the past. And she's like, well, it's hard because I only get to talk for 20 minutes and then it hangs up. I don't give a damn when the phone hung up. Your paralegal should know better than to serve a subpoena for a date in the past. There's no way that what is the next Monday, 4/18? No people should have been called before 4/18. And did you even consult with the state to see when they would rest their case in chief? You know what I mean? So that doesn't make sense. But she's throwing that paralegal under the bus. If those things are true, I mean, it's a free it's not free, but it's on the taxpayer's dime. Call up the people that sent her and get you a new paralegal, because that doesn't make any sense. So either you're lying or she's incompetent. Either way, you need to get that right, ma'am. You need to get that right. I don't think that this expert that's getting these extractions is going to be able to testify, because again, he has to create a report. The report has to be presented to the prosecution. All of that was meant to be done 30 days before the start of trial, and it obviously it wasn't. So Lori's trying to blame it on the prosecution that they didn't give her the right document. Well, you have the right document now, ma'am. What are you waiting on? Because we all found out in open court that they gave that to her a year ago, and then that's when she started pounding her fist about, that's not the right one. It has to be the raw data. Okay, ma'am. According to who? So this is, you remember it carried over last week from what she's called a discovery violation. And the judge was like, it seems like a request to me. Did you ask for the raw data before? This is a net new request, ma'am, as of April 2025. What they gave you was a year ago or more. So 2024, April 2024 or prior. I'm going to need her to get it all the way together. You guys have a great day. I will talk to you later. Toodles.